You are somewhere over the Atlantic when it happens, 34,000 feet above a sea that doesn't care whether you live or die. Before this moment, your life is ordinary in the way that most lives are ordinary, unremarkable from the outside, complicated on the inside. You are a logistics consultant, returning from a 2-week project in Frankfurt, your laptop bag wedged under the seat ahead, your shoes off, your neck pillow in place. You have done this route 11 times in the past 3 years. You know where the best overhead bins are. You know which flight attendants will give you a second bread roll without asking. You are the kind of frequent flyer who has stopped noticing the safety demonstration, who reads the emergency exit card out of professional boredom, not genuine concern. Row 34, Seat C. Aisle. The last occupied row of the aircraft. Behind you, the rear galley, 2 flight attendants, a trolley of drinks nobody has ordered yet, and the metal wall of the tail. In front of you, 263 other passengers who are, at this moment, watching movies, sleeping, or arguing softly about nothing. You are reading a report on port scheduling inefficiencies when the sound comes. It is not what you expect. There is no shouting at first, no movie-style declaration with an accent and a weapon held overhead. It is a sound more like a door being pushed too hard, a controlled thud from somewhere near the front galley. Then a voice, clipped and close to the intercom, says a single sentence that you do not fully hear, but whose tone you understand completely. The cabin goes still, the way water goes still before it drains. Everything pauses, and then the screaming starts. You are on your feet before you have made a conscious decision to stand. What you see ahead of you is a cabin in the first stages of collapse. 2 men, you count them immediately, a habit left over from a security briefing you attended years ago for a contract in Nairobi, are moving down the aisle with the kind of practiced calm that is more frightening than aggression. They are not running. They are walking. One holds something against the neck of a flight attendant. You cannot see what it is. The other is speaking quietly to the passengers in the forward rows, gesturing for phones, gesturing for people to sit down, gesturing with a patience that is almost courteous and therefore deeply wrong. A third voice comes from the front, near the cockpit door, you think, and that voice is not calm at all. You sit back down. This is the first decision you make, and you make it in half a second. Standing makes you visible. Visible makes you a variable. You are in the last row. Nobody is looking at row 34 yet. You have time. Maybe 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, and you intend to use every one of them. The question that matters most right now is not whether these men have weapons. It is whether they are willing to use them. That is a different question entirely, and it is one that the cabin has already answered incorrectly by erupting into noise. Panic is leverage for people who want control, and these men clearly want control, which means the passengers who are crying and shouting are doing exactly what the hijackers need them to do. You understand this the way you understand a spreadsheet, not emotionally, but structurally. You breathe through your nose, you count. 3 hijackers minimum, possibly 4 if the cockpit voice is a separate person. The 2 in the aisle are coordinating. They glance at each other at intervals, adjusting, which means they have a plan and they are executing it. That is both reassuring and terrifying. Reassuring because improvised actors are more dangerous in the short term. Terrifying because a plan means a destination, and you do not know what that destination is. You watch the lead man, the one moving down your side of the aisle, and you try to read him the way you have learned to read difficult clients. There is a tell in how people handle authority they are uncertain about. When someone is genuinely powerful, they are still. When someone is performing power, they move too much. They check their audience. They need confirmation that the room is responding correctly. This man checks. His eyes sweep left, then right, then back to his partner. He is monitoring compliance. He is managing a room, not owning it. That means he needs the passengers afraid but cooperative, which means, and this is the most important inference you have made in the last 90 seconds, he probably cannot afford to hurt anyone yet. The threat is structural. It is architectural. It is the idea of harm, not harm itself. Probably. That word is doing significant work right now, and you do not forget it. The lead man reaches row 30, then 31. You lower your eyes to your lap. Looking directly at someone who wants control is a provocation. You know this. You let him pass through your peripheral vision like weather. He tells the two passengers in row 33 to give him their phones. They do. He does not look at you yet because you are presenting correctly. Still, head down, hands visible on your thighs. You are the last passenger on the plane in more than one sense. You are the last uncatalogued variable, and you need to stay that way for as long as possible.
The minutes pass like surgery. The cabin settles into a terrible quiet. Not peace, but exhaustion. People have stopped screaming because screaming costs energy and produces nothing. The flight attendants have been moved to seats near the front. The intercom crackles once and then goes silent. The plane does not change altitude. It does not bank. Whatever is happening in the cockpit is not yet a physical crisis, which means you still have time, and time is the only currency that matters. You run the numbers in your head with the same discipline you apply to a shipping manifest. 264 passengers, 3 or 4 hijackers, a crew that has been neutralized but not harmed as far as you can tell, which suggests the hijackers want something they can negotiate for, which suggests they are not purely ideological, which suggests they are afraid of consequences, which means they are not planning to die today. People who are planning to die today do not manage rooms. They do not check for compliance. They simply act. This is not certainty. This is a model with incomplete data, and you know it.
You begin to look very slowly, very carefully at your environment. Not for a weapon. That is a movie solution, and you are not in a movie. You are looking for information. The rear galley is 2 feet behind you. The flight attendants left it mid-service, which means the trolley is still unlocked, still loaded, still positioned in the aisle, partially. You can see the edge of it. You can see that one of the service drawers is not fully closed. And then you see the thing that changes everything. The lead hijacker is standing 6 rows ahead, speaking quietly to a passenger who is weeping. His back is to you. His partner has moved to the opposite aisle and is watching the mid-cabin. Neither of them is watching the rear. But what you are watching, what has lodged in your chest like a cold key turning, is the lead man's jacket. It has ridden up on his left side where he reached across a seat, and beneath it, where a weapon should be holstered, there is nothing. There is the flat, unbroken line of a man wearing only a jacket over a shirt. No bulk, no weight, no shape.
You do not move. You do not breathe too hard. You sit with this information for 4 full seconds, letting it either confirm or collapse. It holds. The shape doesn't lie. You have shaken hands with enough security contractors to know what a concealed carry looks like on a body, and this man does not have one. Which means the threat he is projecting, the authority, the compliance, the architectural fear, is at least partially a construction. Which means the variable you have been most afraid of is smaller than it appeared. Your hand rests on the edge of the service trolley. You have not decided anything yet. Deciding too fast is how people die in situations like this. You know that with the cold certainty of someone who has spent years calculating risk for a living. But the model has shifted. The probability has moved. And somewhere in the cockpit, a door is still closed, and the plane is still flying. And the next 30 seconds belong entirely to whoever is willing to make the next decision. You are still in row 34. you are still the last passenger. You are still, for now, invisible. You begin to think about what comes next.